Good. Okay, good afternoon, Ms. Harrison, and welcome, and thanks for coming in. And this process, we have 7 questions for you today, and everybody will have an opportunity to ask you a question. But we're going to take our way. Thank you for putting your name forward, and there is 5 candidates. We'll go through this interview process, and after the process is done, council will debate the 5 candidates' comments, answers, and go through that, and then that individual will be notified, the successful individual, in regards to the acceptance of the position or not over the next week or 2. So that will be the process of today. We'd just like to start off with asking you to tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. I have prepared something, not to stumble through it. But first of all, thank you for inviting me to apply or interview for the position. I appreciate it. So first of all, I was born and raised in Thunder Bay, and I've been a proud resident of Marathon for 7.5 years. I'm a single, almost 5-year-old little boy, and our feet are firmly planted here. This is our home now. I work full-time currently as the Outreach and Service Specialist with Northwest Employment Works, and I'm also a member of council at Holy Savior School. My interest in politics began at an early age. I was extremely active within my student council throughout my schooling and even served as president of my high school during my senior year. I also possess my business administration diploma in accounting. I submitted my application for the vacancy on town council because I am passionate about this town and its residents. I feel I have the energy, enthusiasm, and freedom to become more actively involved. I understand the civic responsibility of this position, and I assure you that I am ready and willing to work hand in hand with the current council to represent this thriving community. I've experienced firsthand many opportunities available to residents of Marathon, as well as many recreational activities for our youth. It's fair to say that the needs of all residents have been well thought out, and it's my opinion that this kind of planning, as well as the opportunities offered, cannot be matched in the city. Marathon is not just a town, it's people work together for the betterment of everyone and truly care for one another, whether you're a longtime resident or a newcomer. It's evident that small communities suffer from youth migration, and Marathon is unfortunately no stranger to this. I want to be part of a team that works together continues to be a place where our youth return to live, work, and raise their families. I would also devote my energy towards ensuring seniors continue to have the services, recreation, and that they currently have. Investing in the Peninsula Manor has provided seniors with a beautiful place to live and call home, and I'm excited that even my mother is in the process of completing her application in hopes to relocate here within the next few years. Our region's industries are also expanding, and we are set to potentially see another exciting boom in the next upcoming years. We've already experienced a piece of this with Valor joining our community during the construction of the East-West Tie Line project. With the impending development in PGM, our community will experience an influx in jobs and employment opportunities, including approximately, as you know, 900 new jobs during the construction phase, plus an additional 300 to 400 projected permanent jobs. The economic benefits that come with this will provide support to continue with its long-term goals for our residents. It is common knowledge, however, that Marathon is experiencing a housing shortage, and I would like to be part of the process to alleviate this crisis. As a former apartment building co-owner, as well as a rental property manager, I feel I have the experience and expertise to understand the issues as well as to assist in the solutions. Housing shortages not only affect low-income residents and families, but also the community as a whole. It's fair to say that this will become a greater issue for people needing to relocate for employment purposes. Marathon offers an abundance of natural beauty, including the only safe harbor between Thunder Bay and Sault Ste. Marie, as well as the Group of 7 Lake Superior Trail. As we begin to move into a post-pandemic era, I believe we will see an increase in the number of people, including those south from the border, begin to vacation again. I would be honored to be part of the continued promotion of tourism in our area, as I believe this resource is also an integral part of our continued economic growth. I also have a background in forestry worked in the industry for several years early on in my career. I began as a forestry ranger crew member and worked my way up to silviculture supervisor for Weyerhaeuser and Dryden after completing my first year of the honors bachelor program in forestry at Lakehead University. I believe my education, experiences, strengths, and passion would serve the community very well as a member of this council as we continue to work together to make Marathon the place to live and visit in the North. In closing, being part of and working towards the betterment of Marathon would be an honor to me and is my goal. And I thank you for the opportunity to interview for the seat.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We do have some other questions, and some of those answers I'm certain your opening remarks will come into those as your answers will. So we'll get through that process and start with Councillor Debussy.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hello.
What is your understanding of the roles and responsibilities of a councillor for the town of Marathon? And furthermore, what skills, interests, and personal qualities do you make you a good candidate for that position?
Well, first, the skills, interests, and qualifications I believe I possess. I've kind of already outlined. I have the educational background as well as the work experience. I have a background as working part of a team. I can work individually, but I enjoy working with other people in collaboration for the betterment. As far as the role of council, I believe we work for the people of this town. In particular with this seat, I think the actual role would need to be outlined a little bit clearer from my understanding. The vacant seat, you're filling shoes that were already here. I believe that as far as the councils and committees that were already sat on, those will remain vacant. However, I'd be more than willing to fill any of them if the opportunity.
Great. Thank you for that. Councillor Mischiefs, please.
Yes, so question 3 here. Tell us about our community and some changes we face.
Well,
Challenges, sorry.
Okay, I think the biggest I've already kind of outlined is maybe less of a challenge as more of an opportunity is the industries that are expanding. Again, Ballard already coming in, unfortunately, in a way for the economy are set to be moving out soon. However, with the construction of the mine across the highway, I think that's a huge opportunity. Some of the challenges that we do face with those is, again, the housing crisis, one of them, and having people relocate to the area. Although they are challenges, I don't think that they can't be overcome.
Great. Thank you for that. Councillor Balance.
Okay, question number 4. When you think about what makes Marathon a great place to live, work, and play, what comes to mind?
Almost everything. First, the residents. I first moved here, I did get kind of the watchful eye of who are you and why are you here? But it did not take long at all to be welcomed into the community and to become part of it. Another is, again, the recreational activities. As I stated, I have a very young son who is very active, and the pandemic, it's been a little bit more difficult in regards to the policies and the procedures and the lockdowns and whatnot. But we've never time finding things to do. There's the recreation center, the movie theater, as well as, like I said, all the natural wonders in the area. Just kind of outlines a few.
Great, thank you. Please.
Marathon has some potentially exciting developments in the works. What is your understanding of these developments?
Well, again, the biggest that comes to mind is the mine generation PGA. We're going to see economic development, and again, I use the word boom, that we haven't seen in years and years, potentially as large as when the mill was created, especially with the housing influx of people and careers coming to the community. And I think it's going to be a great thing for Marathon as well. The build of the addition to the hospital. I think that's a fantastic thing for Marathon. Unfortunately, we could probably use more than 14 beds, but it's a start, and 14 is huge in comparison to what we currently have.
Councillor Lake.
Thank you. So this is more a question about why you applied. What prompted you to put forward your application this one?
Well, again, I've always had an interest in politics. It was more years ago than I care to disclose, but it did start at a very early age, even in middle school, and I was heavily involved in council. I have not been as involved as I'd like to since then. However, I feel that this is the perfect opportunity, a fantastic opportunity to become involved again and to serve my community.
Thank you.
Sorry, I'm just going to quickly write down the last comment.
Sorry, I tend to speak a little quickly sometimes.
I'm slower writer.
We're gonna check it for spelling later. Your Honor.
It's a mess, don't worry, spelling's terrible. Councillor Mystic says, kids, spelling is check his way out there. I'm sorry. He's your grammar teacher, yeah?
I think it's Grammarly.
So thank you for that. And at the end of this process, we give the opportunity for you to ask if any questions you might have, council, in regards to what we do, what our roles are, whatever you might think that is important to you to understand that side of the table.
Okay. To be honest with you, I'm not sure that I have any questions at this. I know I asked Louise a few questions leading up to this, and one of them was exactly, how the seat would be filled and about the committees and whatnot. I'm willing, enthusiastic to fill any aspect of this role if I am selected as a successful candidate. At that point, I may have some more questions, but right now I feel like I'm again willing and able and enthusiastic to do whatever necessary.
Great.
And you already answered my question. One of them was about when the successful candidate would be notified. So.
No, thank you. We do have 5. We're very pleased that we have 5 individuals that want to step up and represent the community. So that is very exciting for us as a council to see that there's interest, and we thank you for that and coming forward. So again, thank you for coming today and answering the questions. You did very well, and this process will unfold in the next week or so once be the successful candidate.
Okay, excellent.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you. Awesome. Thanks, man.
Thank you. Still recording.
Good. Okay, thank you, and welcome back to everybody. Good afternoon, Mr. Suki, and welcome to the process of the candidate interviews. We've asked for interviews of the 5 individuals represented the community with their names board, and we've given everybody an opportunity to answer the questions equally. So no different today, and we're going to provide you with a written copy of the questions now. Because we know there might be some audio issues with our volume to you, so that's how we'll go through. Each member of council is going to ask a question, and then we'll summarize with an opportunity for you at the end. So welcome and thank you, Mr. Suki. We'd like to know for you to tell us a little bit about.
All right, so as I'm sure you all know, Zach Suki, I was born and raised in Marathon. Spent my entire childhood here, moved away upon completion of Marathon High School, moved to Thunder Bay, did honors bachelor for 4 years, then moved to Toronto, did 4 years doctor of chiropractic there, met my then girlfriend, now wife, decided to move back to Marathon to pursue a career, purchased the existing business, and now here we are almost 7 years later. Still running a successful business in Marathon. We now have 2 young children, a 2.5-year-old daughter and a 6-month. So land some roots in Marathon and plan on continuing to do so. Take a keen interest in sports and recreation within Marathon. Myself, present in the community, take part in any activities that do go on, and always looking to further my knowledge, whether it be in my professional career, my personal politics, always looking to learn more and just make Marathon a better place to live.
Great, thank you. I'm going to start with Councilor Lake with the second question, please.
Okay. So a 2-part question, Mr. Suki. So what's your role and responsibility of a councillor for the town of Marathon? And then second part, what skills, interests, or personal qualities do you possess that you think would make you a good candidate for this position?
Yeah, so for my understanding, roles and responsibilities is basically to represent the community and the constituents of the community, bring forth any of their views or concerns on issues or decision that the administration of the town would be decision on, and then to just be a voice for the town. In terms of skills and interests, personal qualities, skills, although I can't hear well, I am a very good. So I do do my best to hear what people have to say. Interests, I have a wide variety of interests. Of course, I'm a big recreation guy, but now like having 2 young girls, I've got to explore more of Marathon that I never did. But just getting out, doing hiking, kayaking, just different things like that, getting out to our national parks around the area. That's a big thing as well. Some qualities is I'm an honest person. I hold myself accountable to a high standard, and it's just my professional career and as well as my personal. I keep myself, I'm very transparent with people as well. If somebody, says something or I think a certain about something, I'm not shy to say, how it is. And I think that would be a good, skill set and good personal quality for the current council position.
Thank you.
Great, thanks. Councilor Kavner, please.
Could you tell us about our community and the challenges that we face?
Definitely, I can. There's a lot about our that I can say, like obviously as the slogan goes, built on paper, laced with gold, and now fiber. So that's, there's lots going on in our town right now from what I gather. I definitely still have a lot to learn into what challenges we face. I think perhaps one of the challenges we're kind of seeing now is housing. What can happen there? Is it a development issue? Is it to renovate some current apartment buildings, that type of stuff? So I think housing would definitely be a challenge that as in any small community within Northern Ontario, there's always that aging infrastructure issues as well. I think the town and current council has done a great job at addressing those, but it'll just be a challenge that we continue to face moving forward.
Great, thanks. Councilor Johnson.
Okay, so question number 4, when you think about what makes Marathon a great place to live, work, and play, what comes to mind?
First, the people. I think Marathon are fantastic. From everyone, right? From young kids to those that have moved away and come back, teachers, everyone. I think the people are what makes Marathon a great place to live. Also, such a fantastic quality of life here too. Like, coming from, I'm a fairly privileged person, right? So, moving away, spending some time in Toronto, realizing what it costs to live there, what it costs to go skiing. All those things definitely add up. If we have all of those, if not more than those recreation activities in and around this area, Stanley Thompson, of course, Cross Country Ski Club, the arena, pool, that's a big thing. One of the only indoor pools in north between the Sioux and Thunder Bay. That's a great asset to have, and definitely something to work with. Place to work, obviously, like I decided to choose to pursue my chiropractic career here. I've had a very rewarding practice moving here. It a lot of people to work here. We got lots of industry going on. We have an existing mine site, hopefully another mine site opening up, a hospital. So great healthcare here for a small town that has its challenges as well, but I think if you compare ourselves left and right, we're doing a pretty good job there.
Great, thanks. Mr. Suki, Mr. Mischief, please.
All right, so for number 5 here, potentially exciting developments in the work. What is your understanding of these developments?
Yeah, so that goes back to one of my comments I made earlier. I definitely have a lot to learn. I'll be the first person to admit I'm not completely up to speed with everything. So I think this whole interview process, the chance of me perhaps filling that vacant seat is going to be a great learning opportunity for me to get up to speed with what things are going on, and hopefully with the plan of running for council again. In terms of exciting developments, from what I do know is, of course, the working with Generation Mining across the road. Hopefully hearing from them soon in terms of the environmental things going on. So that's definitely a big development. As well as the old mill site. What's going on there could be very exciting for the town. So that's another development that will tie the boat launch and the marina in. Well, what can go on there, and then just plans that have been put forth or said in the past regarding Penn Lake, splash pad, or having those types of things, or available things for younger children to enjoy, and then as well Pebble Beach, just doing some developments there as well. That is my big understanding of the developments that's going on.
Great, thanks. Councilor Debuchy.
What prompted you to put your name forward?
What prompted me to name for it? That's a good question. So lots of reasons. So the first reason is I've had these thoughts, ideas, wouldn't necessarily like opinions on things, and I've always been a person if sort of annoyed me if somebody would say something and not do anything about it, and so this is my action, putting my name forward on being just a sayer. I feel like I would bring a sort of unique role, I guess, to council should I get in, as a owner, a healthcare provider, a father of 2 young children, somebody just, again, being born and raised in Marathon. So I know the Marathon that I grew up in, and I loved it, and that's what made me move back. And I want that same Marathon for children as well. And it's not to say we're in a bad spot now, but I would just love to have every opportunity in the world to do what they want, participate what they want in, and not have to travel east and west for it. Not that we would, but that's a big reason. It's just for our present and build on everything that the current council has done as well. They've done a fantastic job, and I think I would just like to be a part of the team moving forward. I think Marathon's future is bright, and I'd like to have a little say in it.
Great, thank you for that. So as we wrap up, I thank you for answering those questions. Any questions of us as a council or the roles we present, and anything that just you don't know or you'd like to know about us or council's stuff?
Yeah, I think the big thing, like, obviously I can come in with all these great ideas and ambitions, and I know it's more that, right? There's a lot of logistics and analytics into making a decision, right? And I know going into this, like, you want to please everyone. We know that that's not realistic, right? So I would just say, like, what, a question I may pose is just how much is, like, one person, I know it's a team, we work together, but how much does, can one person comes in with these great ideas and ambition, the chances of, things happening, I guess.
So I think that by having that view of that individual, you or any other individual who's successful at getting on council, brings that view as your perspective to bring it to the team, and team, of course, discusses it, works with administration, talks about budget, how does that play out in the community? So it's a great opportunity to have your vision brought to this table, or anybody's vision, and any one of our members of council and our student councilors included, because they have a vision of what they want to see the community be like. So bringing all those visions together, having discussions, good debate. We start off this council, and all the past council work administration, start off a strategic plan, beginning as a process. So after the elections in the fall, we sit down for your strategic plan for the community. So that's the great opportunities to get involved, bring your visions, your ideas, and your perspective, and then you work as a team. And that's the key message there, is as regards to how you come and bring your involvement, your ideas, and facts.
Okay.
Your worship too. Thank you.
Sure.
We'll have a good opportunity too every year to throw a strategic planning meeting too, just to kind of put out what we're thinking, ideas and all that. And then as a team, we kind of work collaboratively to pull which are the strongest, and I guess projects will be kind of moving forward with the strategic plan. So that gives you a good opportunity then to kind of give out your ideas and everything there. Challenges, opportunities, all that. So
of course I have, like, my own thoughts and ideas, right? But, like, again, we're representing the majority of the town. So I think I'd also have that ability to put my personal interests aside, right? And think what's better for the community as a whole, right? Because fortunately with my job, I interact with so many people, right? So whether it be, person my age, young kids, or, somebody with mature children who've moved away, going to post-secondary education, seniors, low income, right? So it's an interesting dynamic, and, like I said, you do your best to please the majority, but unfortunately you can't always please them all.
Very good perspective. Thank you for that.
No, I think that's what I'll ask. I guess one of the thought that I had in the back of my head before while preparing for this interview was that, like, with all these, ideas and whatnot, right? Like, volunteerism is not what it used to be. Right. And I thought, and I've had some ideas like shared with me from other community people that moved here from other communities, and some thoughts myself on sort of, reigniting volunteers. We'll say, that's a big thing, that why certain groups may not exist anymore, right? Like, let alone the accessibility issue. But it's just somehow reigniting volunteerism within the community, right? Like, Greg had a great the gala, volunteer of the year type of thing, right? But, like, this council has that opportunity to, recognize a volunteer of the month with a recreation card or something along those lines, right? Just like, people don't necessarily volunteer for the recognition, but when they get it, they certainly always appreciate it. So that, I guess that was another point I wanted to talk to.
No, we appreciate it.
Question 4, but.
And I had, as I said at the onset of the interview, was that we will discuss, now that we've completed all 5 interviews, discuss the answers and the comments and the opportunities that individuals presented. And we will make a decision, present Administration will be in touch with that individual who's successful, and there will be a swearing in of that individual on the 14th of March. So, that it'll be a quick process, and the individual will know who's successful.
Okay.
So thank you very much for coming out
No,
today.
thank you, guys.
Thank you very much for being interested in the community. I'm looking forward to the position of council.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you. Thanks. Have a great day.
Thanks, Zach.
Okay, so that wraps up the formal part of this meeting, and we can thank the individuals at home for watching, and we will be going to meeting to discuss this process, that reading the questions and comments and answers from the individuals that we just agreed over the last several hours. Thank you very much, and have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
Process. Thank you.
Exactly.